You know, we all think we know the story of Joseph and his coat of many colors. But the real story, the one that really matters, isn't about the coat at all. It's about what happens decades later, when he comes face to face with the very brothers who sold him into slavery. And that reunion, well, it's a masterclass in psychological drama, just packed with hidden clues and secret motivations that we're going to unpack right now.
So the whole thing kicks off with this really strange, kind of accusatory question from their father Jacob. A famine is tearing through the land, they're literally starving, and the first thing he does is call them out. Why do you keep looking at one another? See, this isn't just about hunger. It's about a deep, unspoken guilt that's been festering for over 20 years, and it's left them totally paralyzed.
And let's be clear, the scene is desperate. I mean, a catastrophic famine has absolutely choked the ancient world. Storehouses are empty, the fields are just dust, and hope is pretty much gone. For Jacob and his family, there's only one choice for survival, a journey to the one place left on earth that still has bread.
And that one place is Egypt. It's the lone beacon of survival in a starving world. But why? Well, because years earlier, one man, a Hebrew slave who became the second most powerful man in the country, he interpreted a dream and convinced Pharaoh to stockpile grain. And that man, of course, was Joseph.
I mean, listen to this. Joseph's authority is absolute. When the Egyptian people are crying out for food, even the Pharaoh, the most powerful man in the world, points them to just one guy. He doesn't say go to the storehouses, he says go to Joseph. In that moment, a former slave holds the power of life and death for the entire known world.
So into this world of power and desperation walk 10 brothers from Canaan. They're just anonymous starving men looking for an audience with this powerful Egyptian governor, hoping to beg for some food. They have absolutely no idea who they're about to meet.
And here it is. This is the dramatic core of the entire story. The moment of truth. Joseph sees them, and he knows. Instantly, he recognizes the faces that have haunted him for over 2 decades. But they look right at him, and all they see is a powerful, intimidating Egyptian official. The imbalance of knowledge in that room is it's staggering.
So you have to ask, right? Why? Why the whole act? Why does he pretend not to know them? And why the harsh accusation of being spies, a charge that could get them killed? The biblical text itself doesn't give us easy answers. It just leaves us with this huge psychological mystery. Is this about simple revenge? Or is there something much, much deeper going on here?
To solve this mystery, we've got to turn to the ancient commentators, and chief among them is the 11th century scholar Rashi. For centuries, brilliant thinkers like him have been like detectives, poring over every single word, every phrase of the text to uncover the hidden psychology of these characters. And Rashi offers this absolutely brilliant 2-part explanation. Okay, so on the surface, the simple reason is physical. Joseph left as a clean-shaven teenager, and now he's a grown man with a beard, dressed like a high-ranking Egyptian. But the deeper reason? The deeper reason is a moral one. Joseph, even with all the power, immediately saw them as brothers. But they, back when they had all the power over him, completely failed to recognize their duty to him as a brother.
You know, Joseph doesn't just pretend to be a stranger, he goes on the attack. You are spies, he says. A death sentence, basically. It seems so cruel, so totally random, but as the commentary shows us, it wasn't random at all.
See, Joseph was a very sharp leader. He wasn't just seeing 10 foreigners asking for food, he was seeing a major tactical red flag. According to Rashi, Joseph's accusation was based on a key piece of intelligence that his own guards had brought to him right when they arrived.
So here's the clue. Joseph's guards report that these 10 men, who all claimed to be from the same family, all entered the capital city through 10 separate gates. Now, if you're the head of national security, that is not how a family travels. That's how a team of spies infiltrates a city to scout out all its weak points.
And, in their defense, oh man, they unwittingly just twist the knife deeper. They tell their whole family story, mentioning their youngest brother, Benjamin, is back home. And then they deliver this devastating line, and the one is no more. They are literally telling Joseph, to his face, that he's dead.
And this is the incredible, tragic twist in the whole story. Rashi explains why they came in through 10 different gates. It wasn't to spy on Egypt. It was to search for Joseph. For all those years, they had carried this crushing guilt, and their secret mission in Egypt was to try and find him. The very act of their repentance was being used as evidence against them.
This is where the commentary goes to a whole other level of detail.
analyzing a single word for its hidden meaning. When Jacob sent his sons to Egypt, the text doesn't use the normal Hebrew word for go. It uses a very specific word, redu, which means go down. And for these ancient literary detectives, no word is ever just an accident.
Now get this. Using a system where every Hebrew letter also has a numerical value, Rashi points out that the letters in that one word, redu, add up to exactly 210. He says this is no coincidence. It's a hidden clue in the text, a prophecy almost, hinting that this first going down to Egypt was the beginning of a 210-year period of slavery for their descendants.
So what's Joseph's end game in all of this? It's clearly not simple revenge. It's something much smarter. It's a carefully constructed test. He has to know, are these the same cruel, jealous men who threw him in a pit all those years ago? Or has 2 decades of living with that guilt actually changed them?
So he engineers a situation that perfectly mirrors the past. Think about it. Years ago, they sacrificed their father's favorite son Joseph for their own benefit. Now he puts them in the exact same position. To save themselves from prison or death, all they have to do is abandon another favorite son, Benjamin, the only other child of their beloved mother Rachel. The test is set. Will they do it again? Have they changed?
In the end, this story really challenges us to look beyond the surface, doesn't it? Joseph's harshness, it wasn't just simple cruelty. It was a crucible. It was a painful test designed to burn away decades of lies and guilt. This isn't just a story about revenge. It's really about redemption. And it asks a timeless question. How do you find out if the people who shattered your world have truly changed enough to help you make it whole again?